Hi boys and girls, this is lesson 5 in module 7. And to begin with, we're not going to start immediately off with the problem set because you see these shapes, but they're not on your problem set. We need to talk about some more vocabulary. So that means look at these shapes. These shapes are called regular polygons. And if you remember, a polygon is a closed shape with all straight sides, and that's what these all are. But the word regular just means that each side has exactly the same length. So if I was to measure this side, it would match the same length as this side and this side. And that's true of our square, our pentagon, which is a 5-sided figure, and this one is a 6-sided figure called a hexagon. These little lines mean that those sides match each other. Now, if it's not regular, it's considered irregular, and that is what these polygons are called. Irregular. And what this means is they're still polygons, so closed figures, straight sides, but the sides aren't all equal to each other. So if you were to measure this triangle, these two sides might be equal, but this one is definitely longer. Or this one. These two sides might be equal, but these are definitely longer. This is called a pentagon, even though it looks nothing like the one above it. This is kind of your standard pentagon. This has 5 sides, but they're not equal. And then this one is also a hexagon like the one above it, but these sides are not equal. Okay, so that's some new vocabulary. We're going to need that as we go through the problem set. Now, before you start the problem set, you need your ruler for this activity, so you might want to pause and get that out. Okay, so in this particular activity, it's very similar to the one in lesson 4. However, we've got lots more polygons and some different attributes. Remember, attributes are ways of describing something, whether it's a shape or a person or food, anything out there that we can use words to describe. So, they did the first one for us. The attribute was that it had 3 sides. And so they found polygons Y and Z, and they sketched one of them in that space to the right. So you see how similar it is to the activity from yesterday. Now, you're going to take your polygons that you cut out and your ruler as needed to fill in the rest. So all sides are equal means you're going to go measure and make sure all the sides of that shape are equal. The minute you find one side that does not equal the other, that shape is out, and you're going to need that for the next one. So you can kind of do the first 2 at the same time. The next one is asking for at least one right angle. So that means it has one. It could have more than that. Use your right angle tool, that index card. And then the bottom one has at least one set of parallel sides. So what I'm going to have you do is pause the video and sort those out, fill in your letters here like they did in the example, and sketch one of them, and then hit play again and compare your answers to mine. Okay? So go ahead and pause now. Okay, so for all sides being equal, you should have found M, P, S, W, and U. I chose to draw letter M, which isn't the best drawing, but it's the best I could do with my stylus. You may have picked any of these other ones. So if you don't have these on your list, make sure your problem set shows those. All sides not equal would be N, O, Q, R, T, V, and X. Again, I drew shape letter N, the rectangle. The next one, at least one right angle, you should have had 4. N, S, T, and X. So I drew S, square. The last one is at least one set of parallel sides. So I put M, N, P, R, S, T, and U, and I drew shape T. And these little upside down V's showed that these are the sides that are parallel. Your homework for problem set 4, or lesson 4, had you color a certain set red and another set blue. This is, instead of doing those colors, I can show that this line and this line are parallel. Okay? So now you've finished sorting through the attributes of your shapes. Let's go to the next page. Okay, it says to compare polygon M and polygon X. What is the same? Well, they're both polygons, right? Okay, if I look back at my attributes, M is a regular polygon, X is an irregular polygon. So that's an important difference to make. What is difference? Well, M has equal sides. That's why it's a regular polygon. Another thing is that M has 8 sides and X has 9 sides. So when you're comparing shapes, for example on your homework, look at whether they're polygons, their sides if they're equal, and the number of sides. Those are all important. The other things are the other attributes that you've looked at, like parallel sides or right angles. Those are some other things you might want to include. Okay? All right, so for number 3, it says, Jenny says polygon N, polygon R, and polygon S are all regular quadrilaterals. Is she correct? Why or why not? Well, we talked about regular polygons. Regular quadrilaterals are just those shapes that have 4 sides that are all the same. So if you look at those 3 shapes, the answer should be no. Okay? And we're going to explain that regular polygons have equal sides, and these shapes don't have equal sides. So they can all be quadrilaterals, but to be regular quadrilaterals, they have to have the same length on the sides. Okay? All right. So the last one says, I have 6 equal sides and 6 equal angles. Kind of a puzzle. I have 3 sets of parallel lines. I have no right angles. So look through your shapes. Go ahead and pause the video after I'm done. But look through your shapes and then compare your answer to mine. Okay, so you should have found shape U. 6 equal sides, 6 equal angles. So remember, angles are where 2 sides come together. This right in here is called an angle, and that's usually how we show it. If it's a right angle, we would show it like this to show how it makes a square or rectangle in that corner. Now we have to estimate to draw the same polygon but with no equal sides. So I have to have 6 sides. So I'm just going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is supposed to be a straight line to make it a polygon. Okay? And that's lesson 5. So in this lesson, we looked at some different polygons. We talked about regular polygons, where the polygon has all the same length of the sides, and irregular polygons, where all the sides are not equal. And then we found different attributes with the shapes that we cut out. All right? So go ahead and get started on your homework.